The space around the Galactic Council's station was usually quiet. But today was different. A huge ship appeared out of nowhere. It was bigger than anything the aliens had ever seen. This was the human battleship called Thunderbolt. The aliens at the station were shocked. They had never seen humans before. Earth was a new member of the galactic community. No one expected them to have such an impressive ship. Captain Jae-sung Kim stood on the bridge of the Thunderbolt. He was tall and strong, with a serious face. He looked out at the alien space station. It was shaped like a giant wheel, with lights all over it. Jae-sung felt proud. He knew his ship was making a big impression. "Lieutenant Sumin, are we ready to talk to the station?" Jae-sung asked. Sumin Park nodded. She was young, but very smart. "Yes, Captain. The communication line is open." Jae-sung cleared his throat. "This is Captain Jae-sung Kim of the Earth battleship Thunderbolt. We come in peace and ask permission to dock." There was a long silence. The aliens were probably surprised by the sudden appearance of such a big ship. Finally, a voice answered. It sounded nervous. "Earth battleship Thunderbolt. This is Galactic Council Station Alpha. We weren't expecting you. Please hold your position while we prepare for your arrival." Jae-sung smiled. He knew the Thunderbolt was causing a stir. That was exactly what Earth wanted. They needed to show they were strong. On the station, aliens of all shapes and sizes were running around. Some had tentacles, others had wings. They were all talking fast and pointing at the human ship. Kagtor, a tall alien with blue skin, turned to his friend Xylith. Xylith looked like a big cat walking on two legs. How did the humans build such a big ship so fast? Thor asked. His voice was full of worry. Xylith shook her furry head. "I don't know. Last we heard, they were just figuring out how to travel between stars. Now look at them." Meanwhile, on the Thunderbolt, the crew was getting ready to meet the aliens. Tae-ho Lee, the chief engineer, was checking the ship's systems one last time. He was proud of the Thunderbolt. He had helped design its powerful engines and strong shields. "Everything looks good, Captain," Tae-ho said. "We're ready to show these aliens what humans can do." Jae-sung nodded. He knew this moment was important. How the aliens saw them now would affect how they treated humans in the future. "Remember," he told his crew, "we're here to make friends. But we also need to show our strength. Earth is counting on us." The crew all nodded. They understood their job. They had to be friendly, but also a little scary. It wasn't an easy balance. Finally, after what seemed like forever, the station called back. "Thunderbolt, you have permission to dock. Please follow the guide lights to Bay 7. Jae-sung took a deep breath. This was it. The moment Earth would truly join the galactic community. "Take us in, nice and slow," he ordered. The huge ship moved gracefully towards the station. Aliens watched from every window. They couldn't believe how smoothly the big ship moved. As they got closer, Jae-sung could see hundreds of alien ships around the station. They were all different sizes and shapes, but none were as big or as impressive as the Thunderbolt. The docking went perfectly. The Thunderbolt connected to the station without any problems. This showed how skilled the human crew was. "All right, everyone," Jae-sung said to his team. "Let's go meet our new galactic neighbors." As they walked towards the airlock, Jae-sung felt both excited and nervous. He knew that what happened next would change everything. Humans were about to step onto the galactic stage, and thanks to the Thunderbolt, they were going to make a big entrance. The doors of the airlock started to open. Bright light from the station poured in. Jae-sung stood tall and proud. He was ready to show the galaxy what humans could do. The doors of the airlock opened fully. Captain Jae-sung Kim led his team into the Galactic Council's space station. They walked slowly, looking around with wonder. The station was huge and full of strange sights and sounds. Aliens of all shapes and sizes stared at the humans. Some had many eyes, others had no eyes at all. Some floated in the air, while others crawled on the ground. The humans tried not to look surprised. At the end of a long hallway, two aliens waited for them. One was tall and blue with 4 arms. This was Kator. Next to him stood Xylith, who looked like a big cat standing on 2 legs. Sor stepped forward. "Welcome to Galactic Council Station Alpha," he said in a deep voice. "I am Thor, Chief Diplomat of the Council." Jae-sung bowed slightly. "Thank you for your welcome. I am Captain Jae-sung Kim of the Earth Battleship Thunderbolt." Xylith spoke next, her voice soft and purring. "We are surprised by your impressive ship, Captain. We did not expect Earth to have such advanced technology." Lieutenant Soo-min Park, standing next to Jae-sung, smiled. "Earth has made great progress in recent years," she said. "We are eager to join the galactic community as equals." Sor and Xylith looked at each other. They seemed worried. Soo-min noticed this and quickly added, "We come in peace. We hope to learn from you and share what we know." This seemed to make the aliens feel better. Sor nodded and said, "Of course, we are always happy to welcome new species to the Council. Please, follow us to the meeting room." As they walked, more aliens gathered to watch. Some whispered to each other. Others took pictures with strange devices. The humans felt like they were in a zoo, but they kept their faces calm. In the meeting room, representatives from many alien species sat around a big table. They all turned to look as the humans entered. Some looked curious, others looked scared. Jae-sung took a deep breath. He knew this moment was important. He had to show that humans were strong, but also friendly. "Greetings, members of the Galactic Council," he said in a loud, clear voice. "We are honored to be here. Earth looks forward to working with all of you for a better galaxy." There was a moment of silence. Then one alien, who looked like a giant insect, spoke up. "How did you build such a powerful ship so quickly? The last we knew, Earth was just learning about faster-than-light travel." Jae-sung smiled. "Humans are quick learners," he said. "And we work hard. The Thunderbolt is the result of many years of secret work." This caused a lot of muttering among the aliens. They seemed upset that Earth had kept secrets from them. Soo-min stepped forward. She was good at talking to aliens. "We understand your concern," she said softly. "Earth felt it needed to protect itself in a big galaxy. But now we're here to make friends and share what we know." Her words seemed to calm some of the aliens, but others still looked worried. Another alien, this one looking like a blob of jelly, spoke next. "What are Earth's intentions in the galaxy? Do you seek to conquer?" Jae-sung shook his head firmly. "No, we seek to explore and learn. We want to trade and make allies. The Thunderbolt is for defense, not attack." This led to more discussion among the aliens. Some seemed to believe Jae-sung, while others did not. As the meeting went on, Soo-min showed why she was so good at her job. She answered questions calmly and clearly. She made jokes that even the aliens understood. Slowly, the mood in the room began to change. By the end of the meeting, many of the aliens were smiling, or doing whatever their species did to show happiness. They were starting to see that humans could be good allies, but not everyone was happy. Jae-sung noticed a group of aliens in the corner. They were whispering and giving the humans angry looks. He knew that some in the galaxy would see Earth as a threat. As they left the meeting room, Sor pulled Jae-sung aside. "Captain," he said quietly, "your ship has caused quite a stir. Some on the council are concerned about Earth's power." Jae-sung nodded. "We understand, but we hope our actions will show that we want peace." Sor didn't look convinced. "We shall see," he said. "The council will want to know more about your ship's capabilities." As Jae-sung walked back to the Thunderbolt with his team, he knew that the real challenges were just beginning. Earth had made a big entrance into galactic politics. Now they had to prove they could be trusted. The next day, Captain Jae-sung Kim stood on the bridge of the Thunderbolt. He looked out at the stars and the many alien ships nearby. Today was a big day. The Galactic Council had asked to see what the Thunderbolt could do. "Are we ready, Taiho?" Jae-sung asked his chief engineer. Taiho Lee nodded. He was excited to show off the ship he had helped build. "Yes, Captain. All systems are at full power. We'll give them a show they won't forget." Jae-sung smiled. He knew Taiho was the best person for this job. "Good. Let's hope this calms their fears instead of making them worse." On the space station, aliens from all over the galaxy gathered to watch. Some were excited, others were scared. No one knew what to expect from the human ship. Faxor and Zilith stood at the front of the viewing area. They looked worried. "I hope we're doing the right thing," Zilith said softly. "What if the humans use this chance to attack us?" Or shook his head. "We have to trust them. If we don't, we might start a war we can't win." Outside in space, the Thunderbolt began to move. It glided smoothly away from the station. Even this simple movement impressed the aliens. They had never seen such a big ship move so easily. Inside the ship, Taiho spoke into a microphone. His voice could be heard on the station and on all the alien ships watching. "We'll start with a demonstration of the Thunderbolt's speed," he said. Suddenly, the huge ship shot forward. It moved so fast that many aliens gasped. In seconds, the Thunderbolt was far away. Then it turned and came back just as quickly. "That's impossible," one alien said. "A ship that big shouldn't be able to move like that." But the show was just starting. Next, Taiho demonstrated the ship shields. Small alien ships fired weak lasers at the Thunderbolt. The lasers didn't even leave a mark. "Our shields can stand up to much stronger attacks," Taiho explained. "But we don't want to risk anyone's safety in this demo." The aliens watching were amazed. Some were also very scared. They had never seen defenses like this before. Then came the part everyone was waiting for: the weapons. Taiho had set up some empty cargo containers as targets. They floated far away from any ships or stations. "We'll start with our main laser cannon," Taiho said. A bright beam shot out from the Thunderbolt. It hit one of the cargo containers. The container didn't just break, it completely disappeared. There was silence for a moment. Then the aliens started talking all at once. They couldn't believe what they had seen. "And now, our missile system," Taiho continued. Small objects flew out from the Thunderbolt. They looked like tiny stars moving very fast. When they hit the cargo containers, there were big explosions. After the bright light faded, nothing was left of the targets. On the station, Thor turned to Zilith. "This changes everything," he said quietly. "The humans are more powerful than we thought." Zilith nodded. Her fur was standing up in fear. "What do we do now?" she asked. Back on the Thunderbolt, Jae-sung watched the reactions of the aliens. He could see their shock and fear. Part of him was proud, but another part was worried. Would this make the aliens see humans as friends or as enemies? Taiho's voice came over the speaker again. "For our final demonstration, we'll show the Thunderbolt's special move," he said. Everyone watched closely. What else could this amazing ship do? Suddenly, the Thunderbolt seemed to flicker. Then it disappeared completely. The aliens looked around in confusion. Where did it go? A moment later, the huge ship appeared again. But now it was on the other side of the station. "We call that our jump drive," Taiho explained. "It lets us travel very far, very fast." The demo was over. The Thunderbolt moved back to its spot near the station. But things would never be the same. The aliens had seen what humans could do. Now they had to decide if humans were good friends to have or dangerous enemies to fear. As Jae-sung looked out at the quiet space around his ship, he knew big changes were coming. He just hoped they would be good changes for Earth and for the whole galaxy. After the Thunderbolt's amazing show, the Galactic Council was in chaos. Aliens from all over the galaxy were scared and angry. They called for an emergency meeting right away. The big meeting room was noisy. Aliens of all shapes and sizes were talking loudly. Some were yelling. Others were hiding under their seats. It was a mess. Sor, the blue alien with 4 arms, tried to calm everyone down. Please, everyone. We need to talk about this calmly. But no one listened to him. In the middle of all this noise, the human team walked in. Captain Jae-sung Kim looked serious. Next to him was Lieutenant Soo-min Park. She looked worried. They knew this meeting was very important for Earth. As soon as the aliens saw the humans, the room got quiet. All eyes, and other sensing organs, turned to look at Jae-sung and his team. An alien that looked like a big plant spoke first. Its leaves shook as it talked. How do we know the humans won't use their big ship to take over the galaxy? It asked. Murmurs of agreement spread through the room. Many aliens nodded their heads or waved their tentacles. Jae-sung stepped forward. He spoke in a calm, strong voice. The Thunderbolt was built to protect Earth, not to attack others. We want to be friends with all of you. But the aliens didn't look like they believed him. A small floating alien that glowed like a light bulb said, "If you want to be friends, why did you keep your ship a secret? Friends don't keep secrets." More aliens shouted their agreement. The room was getting noisy again. Soo-min knew she had to do something. She was good at talking to aliens. She stepped forward and held up her hands. "Please, listen," she said in a kind voice. "We understand why you're scared. If we saw a big, powerful ship from a new alien race, we might be scared too." The aliens got quieter. They were listening to Soo-min. She continued, "But think about it from our side. Earth is new to the galaxy. We didn't know who we could trust. We built the Thunderbolt to keep ourselves safe while we learned about the galaxy." Some of the aliens started to nod. They could understand this idea. But not everyone was happy. A group of aliens in the corner looked angry. Their leader, a tall alien with spikes all over its body, stood up. "The humans are too dangerous," it yelled. "We should kick them out of our galaxy now, before it's too late." Many aliens cheered at this idea. Jae-sung felt worried. Things were not going well for Earth. Just then, a new voice spoke up. It was Zilith, the cat-like alien. "Wait," she said. "The humans are strong, yes, but maybe that's good for us." Everyone turned to look at Zilith. Even Jae-sung was surprised. Zilith continued, "There are many dangers in our galaxy. Pirates, space monsters, and more. What if the humans used their strong ship to help protect all of us?" This was a new idea. The aliens started to talk excitedly among themselves. Sor nodded his big blue head. "Zilith has a good point," he said. "Instead of fearing the humans, maybe we should work with them." The mood in the room started to change. Some aliens were smiling now. Others looked thoughtful. But the angry alien with spikes wasn't giving up. "No," it shouted. "The humans must share their technology with all of us. It's the only way to be fair." Now everyone was shouting again. Some agreed with the spiky alien. Others thought it was a bad idea. Jae-sung knew he had to say something. He stepped forward again. "We can't give away all our secrets," he said firmly. "But maybe we can find a way to work together that helps everyone." The room got quiet. The aliens were thinking about Jae-sung's words. Sor spoke up. "I think we need time to think about all this," he said. "Let's take a break and meet again tomorrow." As the aliens left the room, Jae-sung turned to Soo-min. "Well, that could have gone better," he said. Soo-min nodded. "But it could have gone worse, too," she said. "We still have a chance to make this work." Jae-sung looked out the window at the Thunderbolt. He hoped they could find a way to make the aliens see the ship as a protector, not a threat. The future of Earth and the galaxy depended on it. The night after the big meeting, everything was quiet on the space station. But this quiet didn't last long. In a dark corner of the station, a group of aliens met in secret. They were led by the spiky alien who had been so angry at the humans. His name was Kraz. "We can't let the humans stay," Kraz said in a low voice. "Their ship is too powerful. We must stop them now." The other aliens nodded. They were all scared of the Thunderbolt. "But how?" asked a small green alien. "We can't fight that big ship." Kraz's eyes glowed with an evil light. "We don't need to fight it," he said. "We just need to break it." Meanwhile, on the Thunderbolt, most of the crew was asleep. But Sung Min Kang, the ship's security officer, was wide awake. He sat in front of a big screen, watching for any danger. Suddenly, a red light started flashing. Sung Min sat up straight. Something was wrong. He pressed a button to call Captain Jae-sung. "Captain," he said, "I think we have a problem." Jae-sung rushed to the security room. "What's happening?" he asked. Sung Min pointed at the screen. "Look," he said, "a small ship is coming towards us. It's not answering our calls." Jae-sung frowned. This was not good. "Wake up the crew," he ordered. "We might be in trouble." On the small alien ship, Kraz and his friends were getting ready. They had a plan to sneak onto the Thunderbolt and break its engines. "Remember," Kraz said, "we must be quiet. If they catch us, everything is ruined." The small ship got closer and closer to the Thunderbolt. Kraz thought their plan was working, but he was wrong. Inside the Thunderbolt, Sung Min was watching everything. He saw the alien ship trying to connect to their airlock. "They're trying to get in," Sung Min shouted. Jae-sung nodded. "Let them," he said calmly. Sung Min looked surprised. "But sir," he said, "they might hurt the ship." Jae-sung smiled. "Trust me," he said. "I have a plan." Kraz and his team thought they were being very clever. They didn't know that Sung Min could see everything they did. As soon as the aliens stepped into the Thunderbolt, bright lights turned on. Alarms started ringing. Kraz and his friends were trapped. "What's happening?" yelled one of the aliens. They all looked scared. Suddenly, Jae-sung's voice came from speakers all around them. "Welcome aboard the Thunderbolt," he said. "We've been expecting you." Kraz tried to run, but he couldn't. The floor under him started to move. It was carrying him and his friends towards the middle of the ship. When they got there, they saw Jae-sung, Sung Min, and other crew members waiting for them. The humans didn't look angry. They looked disappointed. "Why did you try to hurt our ship?" Jae-sung asked. He sounded sad, not mad. Kraz felt ashamed. He hadn't expected the humans to be so calm. We were scared," he said. "Your ship is so powerful. We thought you might hurt us." Jae-sung nodded. He understood. "Being scared can make people do bad things," he said. "But hurting others is never the right answer." The other aliens looked down at the floor. They felt bad about what they had done. Sung Min stepped forward. "What should we do with them, Captain?" he asked. Jae-sung thought for a moment. Then he smiled. "I have an idea," he said. "Instead of punishing them, let's show them around our ship. Let's show them we're not as scary as they think." The aliens couldn't believe it. They had tried to break the ship, but the humans wanted to give them a tour. For the next few hours, Jae-sung and his crew showed Kraz and his friends all around the Thunderbolt. They explained how things worked. They answered questions. They even let the aliens sit in the captain's chair. By the end of the tour, Kraz and his team were smiling. They weren't scared anymore. They were excited. "Your ship is amazing," Kraz said to Jae-sung. "I'm sorry we tried to hurt it. I see now that we were wrong about you." Jae-sung shook Kraz's hand, or rather, his spiky arm. "I'm glad you came," he said. "Now you can tell the other aliens that humans want to be friends, not enemies." As Kraz and his team left the Thunderbolt, they were already making plans. They would tell everyone how kind and smart the humans were. Maybe this would help bring peace between humans and aliens. Jae-sung watched them go. He felt happy. They had turned enemies into friends without any fighting. It was a good day for the Thunderbolt, and for all humans. The next morning, news of what happened on the Thunderbolt spread fast. Many aliens were surprised by how the humans had handled the situation. They had shown kindness instead of anger. Cuxor and Zilith heard about it too. They were impressed. Maybe the humans really do want peace, Cuxor said. Zilith nodded. We should tell the council about this, she said. But not everyone was happy. Some aliens still didn't trust the humans. They thought the story about the tour was a trick. In a big room on the space station, the Galactic Council gathered again. It was time to decide what to do about the humans and their powerful ship. Captain Jae-sung and his team stood in the middle of the room. They looked calm, but inside they were nervous. Earth's future in the galaxy depended on this meeting. The leader of the council, a wise old alien named Grix, spoke first. Humans, he said in a deep voice, your ship has caused much worry in our galaxy. We must decide what to do. Jae-sung nodded. He understood why the aliens were worried. If he saw a big, powerful ship from a new alien race, he might be worried too. Grix continued, some say we should ask you to leave our galaxy. Others think we should take your ship away. What do you say to this? The room was very quiet. Everyone waited to hear what Jae-sung would say. Jae-sung took a deep breath. We understand your concerns, he said. The Thunderbolt is powerful. But we built it to protect, not to attack. Some aliens nodded. Others looked doubtful. We want to be part of your galactic community, Jae-sung went on. We want to learn from you and share what we know. But we can't give up our right to protect ourselves. Grix listened carefully. Then he said, your words are good, Captain. But words are not enough. We need proof that we can trust you. Suddenly, a voice shouted from the back of the room. It was Kraz, the spiky alien who had tried to break the Thunderbolt. I have proof. Kraz yelled. Everyone turned to look at him. Kraz walked to the front of the room. He looked nervous, but he spoke in a strong voice. Last night, my friends and I tried to hurt the human ship, he said. There were gasps from the crowd. We were wrong to do this. We were scared. Kraz looked at Jae-sung. But the humans didn't hurt us. They didn't even get angry. Instead, they showed us their ship and taught us about it. They turned us from enemies into friends. The room was silent for a moment. Then aliens started to talk excitedly. This was big news. Grix raised his hand for quiet. He looked at Jae-sung with new respect. Is this true, Captain? He asked. Jae-sung nodded. It is, he said. We believe that understanding is better than fighting. Grix thought for a long time. Then he spoke again. Humans, we have decided. We will give you a chance to prove yourselves. But there must be rules. Jae-sung held his breath. This was the moment of truth. Here is our demand. Grix said, you must share some of your technology with us. Not all of it, but enough to show that you trust us. In return, we will give Earth a seat on the Galactic Council. The room erupted in noise. Some aliens cheered. Others argued. It was a big decision. Jae-sung looked at his team. They nodded at him. They knew what they had to do. We accept your offer, Jae-sung said loudly. The room got quiet again. Everyone looked at Jae-sung. We will share some of our technology, he continued. And we will use the Thunderbolt to help protect the galaxy, not just Earth. In return, we ask for your friendship and trust. Grix smiled. It was the first time anyone had seen the old alien look happy. Then it is settled, he said. Welcome to the Galactic Council, humans. The room filled with cheers and clapping, and other alien sounds of happiness. Jae-sung felt relieved. They had done it. Earth was now truly part of the galactic community. But he knew this was just the beginning. There would be challenges ahead, but with their new alien friends, humans were ready to face whatever the galaxy might bring. As Jae-sung looked around the room at all the happy aliens, he couldn't help but smile. The future looked bright, not just for Earth, but for the whole galaxy. 1 month had passed since the big meeting. The space around the Galactic Council station was busy. Ships from all over the galaxy were coming and going. Among them was the Thunderbolt, now a familiar sight. Inside the station, Captain Jae-sung Kim walked down a long hallway. He was on his way to a special ceremony. Today, Earth would officially join the Galactic Council. As he walked, Jae-sung thought about everything that had happened. It had been a crazy month. Humans and aliens had been working hard to understand each other better. Taiho, the chief engineer, had been teaching alien scientists about some of Earth's technology. The aliens were amazed by human ideas. They especially liked something called pizza that Taiho had introduced them to. Sumin had been busy too. She was helping write new rules for the galaxy. These rules would make sure all races, including humans, were treated fairly. Jae-sung reached a big door. He took a deep breath and walked in. The room was full of aliens from all over the galaxy. They all turned to look at him. At the front of the room, Grix stood with Exor and Zilith. They smiled when they saw Jae-sung. Next to them was an empty seat. It was for the human representative on the council. "Welcome, Captain Kim," Grix said in his deep voice. "Are you ready to make history?" Jae-sung nodded. "Earth is ready," he said. Grix turned to face everyone in the room. "Today," he said, "we welcome a new member to our galactic family. The humans have shown us that they are wise, kind, and strong. They will make our galaxy better." The room filled with happy sounds. Even the aliens who had been afraid of humans were clapping now. Jae-sung stepped forward. It was his turn to speak. He looked out at all the different aliens. Some had tentacles, some had wings, some glowed in the dark. It was amazing to see. "Thank you for trusting us," Jae-sung said. "Earth promises to be a good friend to all races in the galaxy. We will use our strength to protect, not to hurt. We will use our knowledge to help everyone, not just ourselves." As he spoke, Jae-sung saw Kraz in the crowd. The spiky alien who had once tried to break the Thunderbolt was now one of their biggest supporters. Kraz gave Jae-sung a thumbs up, which he had learned from watching human videos. After the ceremony, there was a big party. Aliens and humans mixed together, talking and laughing. Taiho was showing a group of aliens how to eat spaghetti. It was very messy, but everyone was having fun. Sumin was talking with Exor and Zilith. They were making plans for a new school where young aliens and humans could learn together. In a quiet corner, Jae-sung stood with Grix. They looked out a big window at the stars. "You've done well, Captain," Grix said. "When your ship first arrived, many of us were scared. We thought you might be dangerous, but you showed us that power can be used for good." Jae-sung smiled. "We still have a lot to learn," he said, "but we're excited to be part of this amazing galaxy." Grix nodded. "And we're glad to have you," he said. "Together, we will do great things." As they talked, a small ship flew past the window. It was being chased by a bigger ship. Pirates. Without thinking, Jae-sung pressed a button on his wrist. Suddenly, the Thunderbolt appeared next to the pirate ship. It didn't fire any weapons. It just sat there, big and powerful. The pirate ship quickly turned around and ran away. Grix laughed. "You see," he said, "already you are helping keep the peace." Jae-sung felt proud. The Thunderbolt, which had once scared the aliens, was now protecting them. As the party went on, Jae-sung thought about the future. There would be more challenges for sure. The galaxy was a big place, full of unknown things. But now, humans and aliens would face those challenges together. He looked around the room at all the happy faces. Humans had found their place in the galaxy. They had turned fear into friendship, distrust into teamwork. The adventure was just beginning, and Jae-sung couldn't wait to see what would happen next. As the Thunderbolt floated peacefully outside, a symbol of both human power and galactic unity, Jae-sung knew one thing for sure. The future was bright for everyone in the galaxy.